Hi, my name's Riley Dillon, and I did research on how to make a first-person shooter using blueprints in Unreal Engine 5. The first thing I wanted to find out was how to do a hit scan weapon and how to make it apply damage when shooting targets. I followed these two videos which helped me get an understanding of how hit scan works in Unreal Engine 5. The way the hit scan works is that once the player left clicks, it will get the location of the camera of the first person player character and then create a vector that is sent forward the range of the gun, which is set as a float value. That is then multiplied by the vector and then creates the vector that goes the specified distance. The hit scan vector will detect if it hits an actor and get the location of it, spawning an explosion emitter. And then it will also get the actor's data and determine how much damage to do to it based off of the gun's damage variable, as well as get which actor did the damage to it. When the apply damage node runs, the event any damage will then detect that damage and apply it to the enemy health. Once the enemy health hits 0 or lower, it will then destroy the actor. I chose go with hit scan for the shooting type because it's easier to hit targets at any range, less taxing with calculations for the computer, and because it has instantaneous feedback so the player will know whether or not they hit their target. After that, I wanted to learn how to apply weapon models to the basic mannequins so they could use the revolver Alex made for me over summer and have a threatening opponent for the player. I learned that in order to attach a weapon to the enemy model, you need to add a socket and then connect the weapon mesh to the socket, and then once you have that in, you choose the animation you wish to use, and it should work like that, and you just move it into place. The next step was to find how to make the enemies shoot back at the player. Using this tutorial about simple turrets, I learned how to make enemies that both track the player and fire back at them. The enemies and turrets track the player by using pawn sensing to determine their location. Pawn sensing has 3 different senses tied to it. The sight sense, which detects the player when in front of them in line of sight, the hearing sense, which detects sounds anywhere within the hearing range, and the LOS hearing sense, which only hears sounds that are not obstructed by objects in the way. Once the turret has spotted the player character, it will set the turret's rotation to face the current location of the player character. Now that the turrets track the player, they need to be able to shoot at them when spotted. Once the player is spotted, there will be a delay before the turret then shoots at the player by spawning an actor at an arrow that is in the model, although during gameplay the arrow is hidden from the player. The actor that is spawned has projectile movement, giving it an initial speed and gravity. If you were to reduce the gravity to 0, it would fire in a straight line, and the speed determines how fast the projectile actually goes. The enemy projectiles deal damage when they collide with the player character by using the apply damage node. When you combine all these pieces together, you can have a functioning first-person shooter game. Once again, my name is Riley Dillon, and thank you for watching my research presentation on how to make a first-person shooter.